it's Bobby from Simplified Coaching, your life, health coach, and simplifying specialist. So, last week we started a new series on habit change, and I talked to you about how making small changes is really the secret to making lasting habit change, right? Because if we can make achievable small changes consistently over time, they're going to add up to big results. So, this week, we are going to get into our first change. And I did last week ask you to think about what change you'd like to make. So if you would, call that to mind and kind of be thinking about that in particular when we talk about this first change and how you could apply it in your situation. Okay? So you ready for the first small change? Here it is. Perspective shift. What? Perspective shift. Yeah. What does that even mean, right? It really just means looking at your situation differently. So here's how it plays out. You're going to begin to change your thoughts and change your words, the things you're saying about your situation. I'm going to give you some examples. So think about how you could hear this in your own situation. So think about, you may say, oh, I have to do something. I want you to change that to I get to, or I'm blessed to be able to. So an example would be, the only way I could have free time for myself is that I'd have to get up early in the morning, and that would be the only way because I wouldn't get time for myself otherwise, right? Okay, let's shift that because that doesn't make me want to get up in the morning. Even for myself, I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't sound good. So instead of coming in it that way, let's shift and say, wow, I'm really blessed to be able to get up early in the morning before everyone else in the household and enjoy the quiet and the peace and just be able to give myself some time and relax or whatever it is to fill up my cup before everything else starts happening for the day. I'm so happy that I get to do that. You feel the difference? So really, we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about getting you a little more time for yourself, but one just feels like, oh, now the only way I ever get time for myself is, I have to get up in the morning. Okay, see the difference? Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is maybe you are feeling like your house is a mess, okay? And you're thinking, oh, I should do something about this. I should clean up. I should get organized. I should get rid of some stuff, right? We do the shoulds a lot. I always say should is could wrapped in shame. Doesn't make anybody feel good. Okay, so we're going to shift our shoulds, our should do's, into the positive perspective, which is having the opportunity to do something. So let's hear that same situation played out in a perspective shift. So, wow, isn't it great to think that I have the opportunity to do something about the situation that I'm in? I know that the house is kind of become a bit of a mess, but I have the opportunity to go through things and let go of what's not serving me. I have the opportunity to make this really a nice home, a nice landing spot for my family to come back to at the end of the day. And I can feel really good about that. That's a nice opportunity to have. Feel the difference there? No shame in that one. Okay, and I'll give you one more example of a way you can shift your perspective around whatever your situation is, but I'm going to use the example of losing weight and maybe, thinking about food and how that plays into it. So this example will be like the idea that you need to eliminate something versus the idea that you get to transform and add something. So maybe you'd be thinking, I really need to lose weight. And to do that, I need to cut out all of those processed foods that I'm eating. And I need to do this. I need to do that. Right? You know how that sounds and how that goes. Okay, well, let's shift that into the positive. And let's think, wow, I really want the best for my body. And so to do that, I should probably lose some weight, right? I'd like to lose some weight. Oh, I caught myself on a should. So I'd like to lose some weight. And in order to do that, it's really kind of cool that I get to transform my lifestyle. I get to transform the foods that I'm nourishing my body with. Okay. So now I get to add into my diet every day whole foods that are going to give me fuel and energy and make me feel so much better. Okay? So, see, even those shoulds can slip in for me sometimes, but awareness, you catch yourself. And that's what I want you to do with all of these things. Because it's pretty amazing to think that just simple perspective shift, it changes the energy around things, and that changes the way you feel about it. And when you feel good about something, you're more likely to do it, right? So, we're going to shift our perspective. We're going to catch ourselves when we're saying things that maybe don't sound like they're in the most positive of mindsets, and begin to change those thoughts and the words also that you're speaking, not just the things that you're thinking, but the things that are coming out of your mouth, and see if you can get those transformed into a more positive place to be. And I believe that that's going to be a nice start for you in changing your habits. So let me know what you think, how you're going to apply it, what came to mind. Maybe you already heard yourself kind of saying some of those negative things. Let me know what the negative things were and how you're going to change them into the positive. I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait to share tip number 2, small change, with you next week. Until then, keep it simple and be well.